phase 5. So phase 1, 2, and 3, as I explained yesterday, were about the pillar of happiness. Phase 4, 5, and 6 are about the pillar of vision, of having a beautiful vision for where you want your life to be in the future. Now, the great thing is, yesterday, you already started experimenting with phase 4. You learned how to move into phase 4, how to see that giant, beautiful movie screen in front of you and project your visions for yourself 3 years into the future onto the screen. Now, at phase 5, we're going to ask ourselves a very important question, and that question is, to make those visions of your life 3 years into the future, what would today need to look like for you? How would you need to function in the present? This is a really important question. It's the essence of proper goal setting. You have a long-term goal, but you work backwards and ask yourself, well, what do I need to do now to make that long-term goal happen? Now, in phase 5, we call this crafting the perfect day. What you're going to do is think about today and set an intention for every segment of your day today on how you want that segment to unfold. Now, this idea comes from the philosopher Esther Hicks. The idea is that many people simply let their day unfold, but well-disciplined people decide how they want their day to unfold. Now, you can think of your day as consisting of several segments. There's your morning when you wake up. Maybe you exercise, you meditate, you eat a healthy breakfast, you listen to Mindvalley trainings. There's your commute to work. There's the morning at work. There's your lunch break. There's your work afternoon. There's maybe after 5 p.m. when you are focused on finishing up your emails. There's your commute back, dinner with the family, maybe a movie date with your wife, reading before going to bed, and then bedtime. All of these are segments. All of us may have a different way our day unfolds, but the exercise is the same. In this particular part of the 6th phase, phase 5, you're going to think about your day in segments and simply see each segment unfolding beautifully. So you may start by seeing, let's say you're doing this in the morning, and this was your morning meditation. You may start by seeing your morning personal time going well. See yourself working out at the gym, enjoying your workout, having a healthy breakfast. Then move on to the next segment, your commute. See your commute going well. Great music on the radio, maybe an incredible podcast, no traffic. See your morning at work unfolding, all the way till your evenings, your afternoons. It's now time for dinner. See yourself having the most engaging, beautiful dinner with your wife or friends. See yourself having wonderful conversations in the evening with your kids. You are looking at every segment of your day and simply setting an intention that it unfolds perfectly. Now, why is this important? Well, it's because phase 5 is about deciding that we are going to control how our days unfold. Have you ever seen that phenomenon where you buy a car? Let's say you buy a white Volkswagen. All of a sudden, as you are on the street, you start noticing more white Volkswagens. It's because your brain has sort of locked into an idea, and out of the millions of stimuli across the world, you start noticing a particular event or stimuli more often. Well, that's called the reticular activation system of your brain. It's the system of your brain that helps us move towards our goals, right? Now, when we do phase 5, we are basically training that reticular activation system to notice certain things about our day. So does this mean that deciding your lunch segment with your coworkers, you having a beautiful meal, incredible conversation, does it mean that you're going to make that happen with the power of your mind? Well, maybe if you believe that your mind can influence reality, but if you take the approach of the reticular activating system, here's what's going on. By deciding that you're going to have an incredible lunch, even if something goes off during that lunch, let's say the waiter's a little bit rude, or the food has just a little bit too much salt, you don't notice those negative things because you've primed your brain to focus on the positive things, on the beautiful, brilliant, funny things your gorgeous coworker says, or the fact that your meal is overall a delicious meal. So you're training your brain to notice different patterns about the world. And what this means is that as you go through your day, you're less stressed out. And because you're noticing more beautiful things, you overall experience a more beautiful day. And this is so important because perfect days lead to perfect weeks lead to perfect months lead to perfect years, and perfect years lead to a really extraordinary life. And we can train ourselves to notice what we want to notice. We can declare that we are going to have perfect days, and then have that day unfold and live that declaration. This is what Phase 5 is about. So, whenever you're ready, go ahead and play the audio. And before you play the audio, briefly, think about the segments of your day. Think about how you're going to carve up your day. Is there a morning segment? Is there a gym segment? Is there a segment where you're dropping your kids off to school? Go into your work day. What are your segments at work? What happens when you come back from work? As you play the audio, you're going to go through all of these segments and, in your mind, see each segment unfolding perfectly. Now, when I say see